guys, welcome to HiromiVoice in English. Today, I'd like to talk about something very familiar in Japan, yet is undergoing changes in modern times. Can you guess what? It is alcohol. We call it osake. In Japan, alcohol is very close to everyday life. It's really. You can buy it almost everywhere. Also, you used to be able to buy them from vending machines. But you cannot anymore though. Recently, I feel that the way people think about alcohol is changing. Especially among younger generations, drinking is not as automatic as it used to be. So today, I want to talk about two things. First, why alcohol has been such a familiar part of Japanese culture. Why is that? Second, why more people in Japan are starting to drink less, or choosing not to drink at all. But remember, this is not a video to criticize people who drink, and it is not a video to tell everyone to stop drinking. Okay? It is more like how Japanese society is slowly changing from drinking as a social expectation to drinking or not drinking as a personal choice. So first, let's begin with how close alcohol is to everyday life in Japan. If you visit Japan, you might notice that alcohol is very easy to find. It's really, really easy. You don't need to go to a special liquor store. You can buy alcohol at convenience stores, supermarkets, drugstores, and many local shops. And you might be surprised because they have lots of variety, like seasonal, regional, something like that. A very strong one or light one, or I cannot count up the varieties. They have lots of varieties. You can also see this in the number of izakaya. Have you ever heard of izakaya? Izakaya is casual Japanese style pub where people drink and eat together. Alone is fine, of course. They are everywhere. Near train stations, in business districts, in local neighborhoods, and even small towns, rural areas. For many people, izakaya are not just places to drink. They are places to relax after work, talk with friends or your colleagues, eat dishes, and spend time with others. It often happens like if you go to izakaya alone or with your friends, whichever, drinking make people drunk, right? And as might you know, Japanese people is shy, But once drunk, most of people are getting more friendly. So izakaya, it could be a place to get know each other, to people who don't know. You just met the day like that. Yeah, and in Japan, drinking is not limited to bars or restaurants. At park, drinking, driving, walking, festivals, anytime is okay, mostly. Of course, it depends on the atmosphere though. But compared to some countries, drinking outside can feel more accepted in Japan. It is like 10 years ago, I lived in the US for several months for study. I found that it is not accepted. It is not accepted to have alcohol in my car. I don't even drink, of course, but once you have alcohol in your car, in my car, it might be a risky thing that this is what I heard in those days. So I thought it is more strict to treat alcohol than Japan. Alright, so of course, after drink you cannot not drive in Japan, so it's strict, but drinking outside is more acceptable, I think, than other countries. So why has alcohol become such as a familiar part of Japanese life? Why is that? I think one reason is that in Japan, alcohol was never just alcohol. It was connected to culture, ritual, seasons, food, work, and relationships. First, alcohol has a long connection with traditional ritual and festivals. In Japan, there is something called omiki. Omiki means alcohol. We call it osake, but omiki is a more special one. Omiki is a sacred sake offered to the gods at shrines. You may see it during festivals, New Year celebrations, traditional events. You may see it during festivals, New Year celebrations, weddings, groundbreaking ceremonies, or other traditional events. So, in Japanese culture, alcohol was not only something people drank for fun. It could also be something sacred, something offered to the gods, something shared during important moments. For example, this is what I heard just a few days ago with my friend. She is living in a kind of secret place in Japan because the big shrine is near her station. That's why she is familiar with God stories, and she has experiences some big shrines in Japan. And one day a guy cut a big tree because it's not necessary, right? And it's kind of for people, around people. He cut it. After that, he got sick, very heavy sick. Like he lost his conscious, and he saw a doctor, of course, and he spent many hours in hospital, like ICU. And his wife are so sad and very worried about him. So she decided to go to that shrine, the big one. And the owner of shrine told her that you should bring this omiki and keep this tree, this omiki. Omiki is alcohol, right? And she did it. After that, her husband, the guy, woke up and he got recovered. Everyone was surprised, and he could walk as used to be. This is the story that I just heard a few days ago. Like this, omiki, alcohol, is used to treat the environment or treat God's kingdom. So listen to this story, you might think omiki is more sacred thing. That means sake is more a spiritual thing. Okay, this is the first reason why alcohol becomes such a familiar part of Japanese life. Another reason is rice culture. Japanese sake is made from rice, and rice has been at the center of Japanese life for a very long time. Rice was not only food, it was connected to farming seasons, harvests, villages, and community life. So sake naturally became connected to those things too. When people celebrated to harvest, gathered for a festival, or prayed for a good year, alcohol was often there. In that sense, drinking culture in Japan did not start only from nightlife or parties. It came from a much older connection between race, nature, community, and celebration, and like praying. Alcohol also became a way to create a shared atmosphere. It's close to izakaya, right? In Japan, people don't always express their true feelings directly, so drinking sometimes helped people relax, talk more openly, and feel closer to each other. This was especially true in work culture. After work, drinking used to be a big part of company life. There were welcome parties, farewell parties, year-end parties, and casual drinks with coworkers. There is even a word called nominication. It means communication through drinking. The idea was that people could build relationships by drinking together, And of course, izakaya culture made alcohol even more familiar. Izakaya are everywhere in Japan, as I told you earlier. They are cultural places where people eat, drink, talk, and relax together. So, when you put all of this together, alcohol became deeply connected to Japanese everyday life. But now, this culture is slowly or rapidly changing. Of course, alcohol is still part of Japanese life, but the feeling of you should drink is becoming weaker. Especially among younger generations, drinking is becoming less of a social requirement and more of a personal choice. In the past, when people wanted to meet at night, the most common choice was often an izakaya. Drinking was almost connected to relaxing. After work, people would drink, talk, eat, let the day become a little away. But recently, I feel that more people want to use their time differently. After work, they do not always want to drink and lose the rest of the evening. They may want to protect their time. They may want to protect that time as their own. Some people work on the side business. Some people study. Some people go to the gym. Some people enjoy hobbies. Some people edit video, make art, read books, or simply clean their own rooms. Like this. There are also made videos online about enjoying your alone time. Or how about your countries? For example, night routines, solo dates, quiet evenings, productive after work routine, or spending time alone at home, something like that. I think this shows a change in values. More people are starting to feel that free time is precious. So instead of drinking and letting the night pass by, they want to spend that time more intentionally. Also, there are many places where people can have fun without drinking. Cafes, night cafes, saunas, movies, karaoke, gyms, live events, exhibitions, shopping, gaming, streaming, or just stay home. And with more non-alcohol and low-alcohol drinks, people can still enjoy the atmosphere without getting drunk. I think that is a very good thing. So, alcohol is no longer the only way to relax, connect, or reward yourself after a long day. For some people, not drinking is not about being boring. It is about choosing how they want to spend their body, their mind, and their time. I think that is a very modern change. Another reason is that people are starting to respect personal choices most. Another reason is that people are starting to respect personal choices more. In the past, there was often a strong pressure to fit in. If everyone was drinking, it could feel difficult to be the only person who said no. Some people didn't want to drink, but they still joined because they didn't want to make their atmosphere awkward. This is weird, right? Some people needed an excuse, like, I'm driving today. I'm taking medicine. I have to wake up early tomorrow because of the kids, like that. Just saying, I don't drink was not always easy, But recently, I feel that this is slowly changing. More people are starting to drink. You don't have to do the same thing as everyone else. You can choose what feels right for you. You can take care of yourself, your own body and your mind, your own boundaries. Like this. This may be connected to the idea of the diversity. Not only diversity in a big social sense, but also diversity in everyday choices. Not only diversity in a big social sense, but also diversity in everyday choices. And all of these choices can exist in the same space. And all of these choices can exist in the same spaces. I think this is an important change, because the real problem was not alcohol itself. The problem was the pressure around alcohol. The feeling that you have to drink to belong, the feeling that you have to join to be accepted, the feeling that saying no made you difficult or unfriendly. But now, I don't drink. 私は飲みません。私は飲まない。私飲まないんだ。Which means I don't drink. Is slowly becoming enough. Not slowly, it's enough. You don't always need a special reason. You don't need to explain your body, your health, your plans, or your personality. You can simply choose, and I think that makes drinking culture a little kinder. Not because everyone stops drinking, but because people can stay connected without forcing themselves to be the same. Alright, so as I told you earlier, Japan's drinking culture is not disappearing. Alcohol is still very close to everyday life in Japan. Many people still enjoy it, and that is totally okay. But I feel that the meaning of drinking is changing. That is also good. It used to be more connected to fitting in, work relationships, and social expectations. Now it is becoming more about personal choice. You can drink, you don't have to do that, and either way you should still belong. Like this. Maybe this is not the end of Japan's drinking culture. Maybe it is just becoming more flexible, more personal, and a little kind. What is drinking culture like in your country? Is it easy to say no to alcohol? I don't drink. 私は飲みません. Thank you so much for listening tonight as well. I hope you guys have a peaceful day or night whenever you are. See you in the next video. おやすみなさい.